Welcome to Down the Line, episode 5, the best 10-minute sports show ever. I'm Trey Scott.
Ryan Pittman.
Let's go ahead and jump into it. Just to kick it off, I'm going to go ahead and jump into some quick stats, some quick recap of the boys and girls softball, baseball games. Last week, Green Central, big win against South Central.
Huge win. We talked about it. Huge win, South Central.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't get to see it. Y'all saw it, you and Chance, but great game.
It lived up to the expectation, and it was a great game. Braden Burrs was dealing. Great team effort from the bats from Green Central. Great win. Next up, APA, 3 wins in 1 week. What you got?
It was huge. Doubleheader against Pungo and Southside Christian. We're going to talk about it later, but it was a milestone. We said we were going to be talking about it this week. We will a little bit later on, but 3 big wins for Coach Kravitz and the APA.
Pushed them to 10-2 on the season. Norfolk North with 2 conference wins, then split in the Eastern Tournament. Just now, a win against CBA Cox, but they lost to Southern Wayne the day before. Don't have too much information on this. You got anything on this?
No, I don't. North is a good team, and some of them Wayne County teams, CBA Cox, Southern Wayne. CBA Cox put guys in the majors. They put guys at State, ECU, Carolina. So that's 2 wins against CBA Cox this year. They beat them early in the season. So
and they played Norfolk North plays Rosewood tomorrow, and South North is about to kick off and play Rosewood right now, which y'all would already have seen. Now moving on to South North. South North's had a rough week. They're still 7-3, but they lost a big game, 18-11 to ACOC, but they ended up picking up a conference 11-0 conference win over James Keenan.
Yeah, I mean, we just said it. ACOC's good.
Yeah.
Southern Wayne, is going to be a good team. Rosewood, another Wayne County team, get around there. Conference matters. I love to see them bounce back and get that big win. Another
flawless week for Bethel as they move on and defeated Jones Senior and Southside Christian. They look good. They're building wins.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the softball side. South Lenore girls had 2 tough losses against 3A powerhouse D.H. Conley and Havelock. And I'll go to bat for Coach Maddie every single time on this. She's setting up her team for postseason success playing against these big schools. I don't put too much in these losses.
Not one bit.
If anything, they might be wins.
Yeah.
You're gaining more from it than beating somebody 25-0 where – you have to just run around the bases.
You always ask coaches, and we do it a lot in basketball, football stuff. Hey, does a loss help you better than a win in some of these situations? Maybe in this it does because Conley and Havelock are big teams here in the East, and playing games like this is only going to help them. As the season goes on and in the playoffs.
All right, Norfolk North girls, they're still rolling, man. Yeah. 8-1, defeated. Undefeated conference champion from last year, East Duplin, twice in the same week. Go Coach Bobby, go Jayla Rouse, go Maddie, go Fowler,
go everybody,
go all of them, man.
Go
They're
all
balling.
of them. Yeah, I mean huge wins against East Duplin. You lose to South Lenore in a very close game. They've only got 1 loss on the season, Trey. And, to sweep, we're going to say it in the same week, East Duplin, that's huge.
I mean, they got some studs in their lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Alyssa, Lake, and all of them.
I can't wait to talk about them.
Yeah, man.
We're going to.
And can't live out. Bethel girls, they defeated Jones Senior 10-5, and they moved to 6-1. This is somebody you've seen more than me.
Yeah.
What you see out of these girls?
Young team, but, man, they're rolling right now. We're going to talk about them a little bit more, too. But, Bethel Christian, 6-1 on the season, so –
all right, let's get the timer pulled up. That was a fast one. Get this show rolling. Clock. I should already have this pulled up. Messing up my best 10-minute sports show ever.
Well, it starts here. This is the best part about it right here. It starts whenever we say.
And here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it kicked off. Starting now. All right, girls softball team. Norfolk North is 8-1. South North 6-5. Bethel is 6-1. Norfolk North is currently the number 1 seed if it ended today. 3 wins against the top 15 RPI teams within the last week. South North 6-5, but they are rated in the top 10 in the RPI. Currently the top rated number 2 seed. The 4th toughest schedule in 2A. Bethel, last 4 games. Show me last 4 games.
Yeah, so Bethel 6-1, we talked about it. The last 4 games, they put up 18, 17, 15, and 10 runs. And in those 4 games, only allowed 14 runs. I mean, that's, for people not good at math like me, 60 to 14 run differential in those 4 games. The 3 teams we just talked about on the softball diamond, man, they're tearing it up. And North Lenore, South Lenore, we saw it a couple weeks ago. ready for the rematch.
Give me that stat again on the softball. What's the last
for
four?
Bethel?
Yeah.
So in 4 games, they've scored 18 runs, 17 runs, 15 runs, and 10 runs. That's 60 runs that they have scored. And in those same 4 games, they've only allowed 14.
I wish somebody would say girls softball is boring.
Yeah, I look when they played Faith Christian out of Goldsboro. I mean, that was a game they scored 15 in, and they were hitting the ball too.
Yeah, shout out to the Trojans. South Lenore, North Lenore, man, I think they're right where they need to be. I think they're playing tough games. I think they're winning tough games. I think the players are making plays. I think the coaches are doing a great job, spreading out the talent. I don't have too much more to say about this. I'm ready to see how it unfolds. Well, you got anything else to say about North Lenore, South Lenore, or even Bethel?
No, we're kind of – it's Easter week. Easter was this past weekend, spring break week for a lot of schools. It's kind of like the halfway almost for a lot of these teams. And, I think these 3 teams we just talked about, North Lenore, South Lenore, and Bethel on the softball side, had a very successful first half of their season. You say South Lenore 6-5, but we just talked about it, man. They played Conley and Havelock. Yeah. Those teams are good, and it's only going to make them better down the stretch.
All right, boys. Before we jump into the boys baseball team, shout out to Joey Cannon to make sure I got my headgear. Luke Cannon playing for the Campbell Camels. My hoodie's on the way. I got that myself. Since no other public school wants to give me any hat to wear.
See, I got the North Lenore. I got some parents.
And I'm very jealous.
I've reached out. I've reached South Lenore, Kinston.
Parents said they were going to give me something, but
those Campbell hats are nice.
I'm waiting. All right, let's go jump into it. Green Central still undefeated, second best RPI in the East 2A, number 1 seed. North Lenore's 10-2, third best RPI in the East. East 2A, number 1. They will be a number 1 seed if they hold up. APA 10-2. I'll let you talk about that. Matter of fact, go ahead and jump into that. APA 10-2.
10-2, 3-2 in the conference. Easter tournament this week. Tarboro, they play tomorrow. They're playing Rocky Mount. They will play 2 other games Wednesday, Thursday. Is to be determined who they play. But, I was looking at they got 16 games left this season, including this week. They're going to play John Paul twice. They're going to play Greenfield again. They're going to play Wayne Country Day again in those 16 games. Their 2 losses were to Greenfield and Wayne Country Day at their place. They're going to get them home this time. Not really sure about Wayne Country Day. Wayne Country Day's got a really good team, but I like, maybe that Greenfield game kind of goes their way. But, shout out to Coach Kravis. He's got some really great upperclassmen, Caleb Sanderson, JoJo Farabee, Cade Mixon, Jalen Solomon, who are really, leading that team who we thought, or a lot of people said they were going to have a down year, but I don't think they are. And shout out to some younger players, Jarrett Mooring, Cole Watson, and you saw him the other night, second baseman, 8th grader, Cole Harris. Yeah. He's going to be he's good for 8th grade, and he's going to, continue to get better. Yeah, man, they got it rolling, man. I'm impressed with their performance there, with their wins this year. Yeah. Keeping it moving, South Lenore 7-3, the 15th best RPI in 2A East, which is not bad. They currently have the number 1, 2 seed if playoffs started today. Not alarming to me because I told you this is a young team that makes mistakes. Yeah. I told you I needed to see more, and they showed me more. They showed me they're feisty. They showed me they're competitive. But this team has lost 3 of the last 4 games. They are okay. Yeah. They lost some games. Wow. Big deal. Yeah. I didn't expect them to go undefeated. Did you expect them to go undefeated? No. Never did. No. Not saying they couldn't have. It would have been tough, but that's not the point. This team is young, making mistakes, and learning on the go. I see nothing wrong with this. They're going to keep winning. Oh, yeah. 100%. And they're going to have a great season. I see them holding on to that number 2 spot. Blue Devils, keep pushing. We're here behind you. Anything on them? No. I got something on Bethel, though. We're going to talk about Bethel. Last thing on South North is just keep going at it. Yeah. Here we go. Bethel 7-2. 2-1 in conference. No games this week, spring break. But they're on a 5-game winning streak right now. They had their 2 losses came back to back. They've done a really good job kind of bouncing back. They don't play again until April 8th. They're going to play Liberty Christian. They got 9 games left in the season. Did a little digging. 9 games left in their season. Their opponent's record in those 9 teams they play, 10-26. And they got Greenville Christian twice and Wilmington Christian once, who they lost to 16-3. I would think they can take advantage of the second half of their season, and love to see where they go.
And looking at the rest of the boys' teams and the RPIs and the rest of their schedule, North Lenore, Green Central, South Lenore, they have already played the best teams they're going to play. North Lenore, South Lenore have to play each other again, which is going to be a great game. Green Central does have to face off against Farmville Central, which is a good team, and they got Aiden Griffin twice this week. But I think as long as these teams go out and as long as these teams go out and not coast and go play ball,
they'll be fine.
We'll have number 1s and number 2 seeds across the state.
Playoffs are going to be great.
Big time win. Coach Kravitz, APA, Coach Robert Kravitz, his 20th season. I think this is his 6th at APA and his 13th. He did 13 at Harrell's. I could be wrong on that.
No, Lawrence Academy.
Lawrence Academy.
Yeah.
But in his coaching career, 6 straight state championships, 9 straight state championships appearances, won 16 conference championships, and a combined 401 and 124 record.
Yeah,
amazing.
We talked about it last week, and when we were filming the last episode, we might have something special to say. If you're following on the Facebook page, you saw the video, the interview, the guys dousing them in the ice bath. 401 and 124. That's impressive, man. That's 20 wins a season.
The math is math.
Math is math. 100%.
20 wins. I don't care what level, what team you are. 20 wins per season. That's awesome.
I mean, you're looking. There's some great coaches that we've had. High school, college in this area, and that's up there for sure. That's a great accomplishment to have, and I'm excited. We talk about it. Everybody says Parrott's having a down year this year. When Coach Kravitz is coaching your team, I don't think you can have it down there.
Man, you lose Garrett Bird, who was your best pitcher, your best hitter. Cole Smith went to Rocky Mount. Corbett transferred to Farmville.
But he's
another
got
kid
guys,
with the North Lenore.
He's got guys stepping up, man. JoJo Farabee, he can he can start pitching or he can play center field. He's going to chase it down. He's going to hit. And if Kravitz needs some outs, like you saw in the Pungo game, hey, bring him in.
He's pulling the most out of his talent, that's for sure.
100%.
Let's go ahead and jump into our next 2 subjects. We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
The home run kings and queens. Shout out to these ladies and gentlemen. Maddie Rouse, 6 home runs. She's got to be leading the state. North Lenore, Blake Crawford's 3 home runs. Last I checked, he was tied in the state. Ryland Wade, South Lenore, 3 home runs. Bethel Christian, Suzanne Rouse, 2 home runs. Jayla Ross, North Lenore, Christian Couple, South Lenore, Braden Burge, Green Central, Garrett Bird, North Lenore, all tied in 5th with 1 home run. Ryan, you got 30 seconds to give these ladies and gentlemen the respect and flowers they deserve.
Look, this list is an impressive list. Maddie Rouse, 6 home runs. I saw it live.
And Emerson Smith from Bethel also is tied with 1 home run.
Yeah, Emerson Smith. So I saw Maddie Rouse against South Lenore. Man, she's dangerous when she gets up to the plate. And then the Bethel Christian, Suzanne Rouse and Emerson Smith, they're good on the diamond. But, congratulations to these guys and girls.
Yeah, Blake Crawford, too. Blake Crawford, him, and when Maddie Rouse stepped to the plate, it gets scary. The other team cringes. All right, last subject, a quick subject. There has been an issue with teams canceling games because they did not have enough pitching. I know it happened to APA. I think it was the Eastern Wayne at the time.
No, I can't. I don't remember exactly.
There was a team that was scheduled to play APA at one time. I think Green Central had the same problem.
Bettingfield, the high school that I went to, had a problem
where
with it.
They didn't have enough pitching, so they canceled the game. What do you think about this?
I think it's baloney. You want to call a coach and say, hey, I ain't got enough arms to pitch. Everybody on your team has an arm. Let them pitch. Development. It should be a forfeit in my book, and I hate that. Luckily Parrott was able to schedule a game from a team out of Fayetteville last second. But you're only hurting athletes in my opinion.
10 seconds on it. If you're that coach and you're canceling games because you don't have enough pitching, you need to be fired.
Do better.
That's it. Episode 5 in the books. This is the best 10-minute sports show ever. I'm Trey Scott.
Ryan Pittman.
See you next week.